you're right, it might be 9. No, it can be 9 pets each 2 weeks is counted.
Yes, it's counted as one. I'll have to go and edit the names. But anyhow, Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala wa ba'd. Today in Arabic 101, we look at Lisan al-Quran and Shamriz. Can you just give a quick recap of what it is we covered last week in our lessons? Oh, you weren't here, Tucky.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Saturday we went over prepositions.
Prepositions. Okay.
And then on Friday we went over
What did we go over?
is that the right?
Say that. Jam'u taksir, broken plurals. Yeah, we learned about broken plurals. We also learned about different types of harf jars. He didn't give an exhaustive list, he only gave us how many harf jars. We learned 10. That's correct. We learned 10 prepositions. No, actually we learned 8. Okay. Ala, ila, min, li, fi, an, bi. And then I've taught you guys about waw al-qasam as well, in addition to this list. Beyond that, we're going to go ahead and begin today's lesson looking at demonstrative pronouns. That's chapter 8. And in chapter 8, the idea is, we've already learned a bit about demonstrative pronouns. Can anyone recall what's the 4 basic demonstrative pronouns? Hada, hadihi, tilka, and dhalika. Right? So hada, hadihi, male and female respectively. And we have dhalika and tilka, male and female respectively. The only difference between them is what? The distance, right? So something you may call hada, even though it's physically not close to you, if the distance is relatively near to something else, that's usually a reference point. You all understand that idea? That sometimes in Arabic, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses hada. وَمَنْ كَانَ فِي هَذِهِ أَعْمَى. Whoever was blind fi hadihi. What is hadihi here? In this world, right? So this world is being indicated by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as hadihi. It's not an exact literal usage, but it is close in relation to what? In relation to what?
Yeah.
As opposed to what?
Yeah.
The akhirah, right? The akhirah is not hadihi, it's tilka. That's why when we see the akhirah being referenced in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, tilka darul akhiratu. He says that is the darul akhirah, the second or the last abode, the last home. So we see dhalika and hada being used and tilka being used in the Quran with relation to things that are far, and hada used for those whose distance is close. Although that close distance in reality may still be a sizable distance. So like for example, the Prophet ﷺ, he said, Ana wa sa'atu ka hatain. Ana wa sa'atu ka hatain. I and the Day of Judgment are like hatain. Hatain is the dual version of what? Hadihi. Hatain is the dual of hadihi. And why is he using hatain? Because fingers are what? Are feminine. Not because they're not human, but they're feminine in Arabic anyway. So we see the pronoun hatain being used. Alright, so today in our demonstrative pronouns, yes. Yeah, I'm about to do it. Just give me 1 second. So today we begin the discussion of demonstrative pronouns. And demonstrative pronouns are on chapter 8. Taqi, why don't you just read the intro for us?
Demonstrative pronouns for here.
Yes.
Distance, examples. Hada tilmidun, this is a student. Hadihi tilmidatun, this is a female student. Number 2. Hadani tilmidani. These two are
Yes.
two
These are two.
These are two best ones. Atani, Tibni, Bardani. These are two female students.
Okay. What else?
Number 3, At-Ulani, Talamidatu.
Talamidatu. What is talamidatu?
The plural of what word? Tilmid. And what does it end in? Does that mean that it's female? No, it's not. Just because we have a ta marbuta doesn't mean that it's female. Especially if it's in a plural word, it's most likely male. Otherwise, you would have an open ta for plural female. Yes.
Also, Tilmid and Tilmidani, that's the regular form for dual, right?
Yes.
So Tilmiduna is not a word.
It's not used.
Okay.
Talamid and talamida, as the one we see here, is usually what's used. Tilmiduna exists in theory,
Yeah.
but it's just when something's not used, it's just non-conventional language. All right. Continue. هؤلاء تلميذات. هذه أقلام. هذه أشجار. Now, just before we continue, just so that we're on the same page, why are number 4 and 5 هذه, which are treated as
Singular female.
singular feminine? That's right. Okay, we see that at the top of page 86. On the top of page 86, the author says, inanimate objects and animals are considered singular feminine for all grammatical purposes. That means we don't care what, we're not talking about the gender of the constituents. We're just saying as a whole, the whole thing grammatically would be treated as singular feminine. Even if we're talking about male lions. Well, you understand that? We're talking about 3 male lions. We would still say هذه أسود. We'd still say هذه, even though we're talking about male lions. Understand? Okay. So, the object or person referred to in Arabic, this is an important terminology. Whenever it is we have an ismul ishara, we probably have immediately afterwards what we call a mushar ilay. The mushar ilay is whatever it is makes up the second part of this demonstrative phrase. So when I ask what are the 2 parts of a demonstrative phrase, the first part would be ishara, the second would be the mushar ilay. So that's some grammatical terminology to know. We also know that what's used for far is dhalika and tilka. The dual of dhalika would be what? Look, the dual of dhalika would be what? Look, the nika. The nika. Very rare to see it in usage, but just remember that it becomes dual in a very interesting way, which is you don't get the ani at the end of the word that you normally get on most duals. This is an exception to that rule. So we don't say dhalikani, we say dhanika. And the plural of dhalika would be ulaika. The female would be tilka. What's the dual of tilka? Tanika. And the plural is ulaika. So dhanika and tanika are 2 new concepts to those who don't remember them. These 2 together make up al-murakkab al-ishari. What's important, which I've taught you all informally, is at the bottom of page 86. We've learned this concept informally 3 or 4 times. This concept is crucial to understand, like, very well grammatically, otherwise you are prone to constantly making this error, which is that when we look at the phrase or the sentence هذا تلميذ, we understand that this is a complete sentence. How do we know that fact? هذا تلميذ. How do I know that that's a sentence?
Hada is definite.
Good. It's the mubtada, which is definite.
Tilmidun is indefinite.
Is indefinite, which is the khabar. So that's how we know that's a sentence, and it makes complete sense. This is a student. If the demonstrated pronoun, i.e., if the ismul ishara occurs with a noun defined by the article al, that just means occurs right before a noun that has al at the beginning. This compound is called ismul ishara and mushar ilay, also known as al-murakkab al-ishari. So we learn about al-murakkab al-tawsifi We learned about al-murakkab al-ishari. We also learned about what? Al-murakkab al-idafi. We learned about how to identify the compound phrase of murakkab idafi. What are the signs? How do I identify that this is a murakkab idafi? No alif lam on the first noun and or tanween or and
The second noun has special.
the second noun is majroor. Very good. How do I recognize murakkab tawsifi? How do I identify that?
They'll be,
Yeah, but how do I know this is a mawsuf and sifa?
they'll be common in four things.
The two nouns next to each other that match in their number, gender,
Definite, indefinite.
i'rab, and definite indefiniteness. That's how I recognize a murakkab ishari. Good. And now we know how to identify a murakkab ishari. How do you identify murakkab ishari? You have a ismul ishara followed by
That is different.
a mushar ilayh that is prefixed by al. For now, we'll say that. Right? We're not going to say a mushar ilayh that's definite, because in reality, a mushar ilayh can be definite and it'll still be a sentence. For example, I could say Hada Muhammadun.
Yeah.
You see, Muhammad is definite.
Yeah.
Hada is definite. But yet, in spite of that, this is still a sentence.
Yeah. This is
Yes. Or for example, I can say Hada Baytullahi. What does that mean?
this is a house of Allah.
No.
No, this is the house of Allah.
Good. So what's definite? The mubtada and the khabar
Yeah.
are both definite. So the way that we identify that, and these are not murakkab isharis,
Yeah.
okay?
These are
Hada Baytullah, I'm not saying this house of Allah.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is the house of Allah. In Hada Muhammadun, I'm saying this is Muhammad. I'm not saying this Muhammad is yada 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 yada. Okay? You understand the difference? So what's important to understand is that the way that we identify a murakkab ishari is we're looking for a mushar ilay that's prefixed by al right now. You understand, guys? Otherwise, if you look for a mushar ilay that's definite, it still may not be a murakkab ishari. Cool? Alright. The i'rab of a murakkab ishari. We don't really talk about the i'rab of murakkab ishari normally because all of the asma'ul ishara, can someone like sum them up for me real quick? هذا هذان هؤلاء هذه هاتان هؤلاء ذلك تلك أولئك. Normally, what we associate these all as they are mabni words that don't change. But that's not entirely true, because the dual versions of all of them, they actually do change states. So hadani, think about hadani, it ends in ani. When you see a noun end in ani, what state is it in? When you see a noun that has ani at the end of it, like rajulani,
Oh, you're right.
it's the rafa'at state, right? So if I say hadani, what state is hadani in? It's marfu'. What would the majroor and mansub version look like? Hadaini, just like rajulaini. So, in fact, although you don't see the change of haraka on the words hada, for example, or the word dhalika, for example, that doesn't mean that we still don't make sure that we know what its state is. And that's why sometimes in tarkib, what you'll realize is that we even tell the states of words that don't even look like they change, just so that we're aware of what the sentence means. So sometimes you have to do i'rab of something, although the word just doesn't change. Like for example, Hada Musa. What state is Musa in? The rafa'at state. Ra'aytu Musa. Nasab. Marartu bi Musa. It's in the jar state. So you can already know the states without actually seeing them at the end of the haraka, just by seeing what it's doing in a sentence. So in the examples, number one, he says, هذا الكتاب مفيد. What does that mean, guys?
This book is beneficial.
Good. And if we look to the left of that, what does he say? قرأت هذا الكتاب, which would mean what?
I read this book.
What state is هذا الكتاب? هذا in? It's mansub. Very good. بحثت. What is بحثت? I searched. عن هذا الكتاب. What does that mean?
I searched for this book.
I searched for this book. What state is هذا in? It's مجرور. كذب عن. Okay? We look at the dual versions, the word هذاني actually changes. So our first sentence is هذان الكتابان مفيدان. These two books are beneficial. قرأت هذين الكتابين. So as you see, it's actually changed its state. And now it's in the nasb state. بحثت عن هذين الكتابين. Here we would say, this would be in the jar state. Cool? Let's skip over all of the English, because I've taught you everything that is there. Yeah, don't even try reading that for now. Otherwise, you're going to have these very logical paragraphs. Read this paragraph. Let's see if you guys get it.
Knowledge are very with the exception of Hanani and Hanani, which are lines like a rule, which just means that maybe
Yes, decline is Arab.
Yeah.
So if you get used to this type of like writing, one benefit is in the future you can actually self-study Arabic by reading some English books. Like if you actually end up stopping for whatever reason, you can always progress as long as you understand the language of the person that's talking. So we've learned Asma' al-Ishara very well. What's important is number 13. All of the singular and plural demonstrative pronouns are mabni. So هذا مبني, هؤلاء مبني, ذلك مبني, أولئك مبني, تلك مبني, أولئك مبني, and so on and so forth. It's only the duals that happen to be mu'arab. Mu'arab means that their i'rab is actually going to change. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and look at exercise number 5. In these examples, we just have to fill in suitable predicates. Our first word, or our first phrase is هذه الفتاة. You guys remember what that means? Fatatu is young woman, lady. So what does هذه الفتاة mean? It's not plural. This is? Are you saying this is? Why can't I say is here? Yes, because this is a what? Al-Murakkab al-Ishari. This is a Murakkab Ishari. So هذه الفتاة, to this woman, this young lady. Yes. Muhandisatun. She is an engineer. Very nice. Let's look at number 2. Ooh. What's تلك القرى? This? Is that this?
That place? That village?
Qura is the plural of Qarya, and Qarya is village. So, how you said it?
That village.
Those villages. تلك القرى. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَتِلْكَ الْقُرَى أَهْلَكْنَاهُمْ لَمَّا ظَلَمُوا. Surah Al-Kahf. Right before with قَالَ مُوسَى لِفَتَاهُ. Alright, so here we have an example of a mushar and mushar ilayh. The ismul ishara, which is tilka in this phrase, singular feminine because qura is plural, non-human. What can we say about them? تلك القرى بعيدة. Those villages are far. هذا الطالب مجتهد. تلك الجبال. How can we finish that? And what does تلك الجبال mean? Those mountains, correct. Oh, شامخة. They are lofty.
طويلة was going to be my guess.
You want to make it plural because jibal is non-human. So you just say طويلة.
طاولة.
No, طاولة is table.
طاولة.
Yes.
These mountains are tables.
These mountains are tables.
You sound funny.
I like
They
it.
sniff
Yeah,
you up.
exactly. That would be cool.
هذه المجلة. Anyone know what majalla is? We have this word as a vocabulary word. A magazine. Good job.
Oh my god. Yeah.
مجلة. هذه المجلة. What about it?
Fitness.
All right. It's anime, guys. تلك الغرف. What is تلك الغرف? واسعة. تلك الغرف واسعة. Those rooms. تلك الجرائد. What's جرائد? Bugs? Yeah, jarad is, that's jarad, not jaraid. No, that's jarad. Jaraid is the plural of jaridatun. Jaridatun is newspaper.
No, okay.
What about these newspapers? Are ripped. Are ripped. How do we say ripped? Mumazzaq. Mumazzaqun. That's also correct. Mukharrabatun. Messed up.
Yeah.
Khirqa is usually, I think, only used for clothes. Yeah, I think it's only used for clothes. But maybe, could be, because paper used to be made out of cloth. So who knows? Let's go ahead and go to our next one. We did تلك الغرف already.
Yes.
هؤلاء النساء. What does this mean? These women. These women. هؤلاء النساء. ما شاء الله. PR. مجتهدات. They're hard working. هذان الولدان. Yes. ها؟ كسلانان. كسلانان. هذه الحقائب. ايش الحقائب؟ plural حقيبة. Yeah. They say they're black. سوداء. هذه الحقائب سوداء. Used? Huh? مستعملة? You could say مستعملة. They're used. Alright. أولئك الأولاد. These kids? Nah, those kids. Those kids. They're players. Alright, ذلك الطالبان. They're Muslims. مسلماني. هؤلاء الشعراء. ايش الشعراء؟ Huh? No. Surah Al-Shu'ara is in the Quran, Habibi. Shu'ara, Jama' Sha'ir. Jama' Sha'ir.
Poets. It is poet. I was like, is it?
Poets.
Those poets.
Not those poets.
These poets.
These poets.
What is he switching?
About what's near
In English or in Arabic?
in Arabic.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Trying to understand what's near.
هذا and هذه. هذان and هاتان. هؤلاء. Yes. Yes. Yes.
That's what I'm
Okay, ذلك تلك ذلك ذلك أولئك. None of them have ha. That's a good way. Yes.
Last time.
All right, guys. We have to have an answer.
Form 4 for
هؤلاء الشعراء أذكياء. أذكياء. Yes, they're clever. أولئك الفتيات.
Young girls.
Young women. Young women. How do we say young men? That's young woman. فتيات or فتيان. Yeah, or فتيات. إنهم فتية آمنوا بربهم. Surah Al-Kahf. أولئك الفتيات, what are they?
تذكروا
تذكروا.
it's plural, right?
Yes, plural. You can say they're studying.
That's the wrong one though.
You made them men.
Yeah.
You put men in the kitchen. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. You made a lot of people proud. يطبخ. هاتان القصتان.
These two stories.
These two stories, correct. What about these two?
للطفلان.
Let's just say they're both interesting. How do we say interesting in your slang? You can say mumti', you can say ra'i', right?
Nobody says رائع. not my favorite.
Yeah, they say that.
I know رائع. It's so weird.
Yeah, that's mumti'atani is correct as well. Alright, ra'i'atani for qissatan. Alright, continuing onwards to exercise number 7. This is an easy lesson. We're going to rush through this one. Look at the Quranic verses. Can you guys read them one at a time? Tilka ayatullahi. How do we translate that?
Those signs of Allah.
Those are.
Those are the signs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Those
It
are.
also has the potential to mean those signs of Allah are blank, blank, blank. Okay?
There are four.
What's marfu'?
It says give there are four.
Yeah. So here tilka would be marfu'. Very correct. That's good. قُلْ هَذِهِ سَبِيلِي. What does this mean?
Say this is my way.
This is my way. Why is there هذه here? Sabil is, according to the book, masculine and feminine. It can be used as either. Just like tariq can also be used as masculine and feminine. Yeah. Okay? So هذه سبيلي, this is my way. What state is هذه here in? Yeah, so هذه is mubtada. So it's in the rafa'at state. Okay? But هذه سبيلي, the whole sentence is in the nasab state because it's the maf'ul bihi of qul. Yeah, but we don't see the nasab state. Does that make sense? Yeah, so that's how we would do the i'rab. We call that the maqula of qul, which is like the
one who's saying
the thing that's been said actually. So it should be in the nasab state, but we don't see the nasab state because the whole sentence is in the nasab state. Yeah, of qul. We don't call it a maf'ul bihi. I don't know why. We just call it a maqula. Like, and the reason for that is because it's never going to really show the nasab state. But we just account for it. Okay? تلك حدود الله. What does تلك حدود الله mean?
Those are the rules.
Those are the boundaries of Allah. Is that what you said? That's correct. What state is تلك in? مرفوع. Good. ذلك اليوم الحق.
That is the true day. No, that true day.
No, yeah.
That true
That
day.
day.
It's not, there's not
Not of truth, because it's not mudaf mudaf ilayh.
Yeah.
That truthful day.
Yeah, you can say that truthful or that true day.
That true day.
That true day. Okay, literally that true day. Now, in reality, we can also assume al-yawm al-haq to be the khabar here, and it could be translated as that is the true day. Okay, I'm not translating the Quran right now. You can go reference your own translation. But there are instances where, like certain khabars are allowed to be in the definite state. Does that make sense? أولئك حزب الله. What does that mean? They?
those.
Mm-hmm. Hizbullah. What's a hizb? A part. So in the Quran we have ahzab too, right? Ahzab, hizb also is in reference to like a battalion. an army, part of an army,
That's what I said.
right? So they use the Quranic phrase to name themselves. Only Allah knows who is His and who isn't. But they are the army of God. They are the forces of God, right? Those are the forces of God. Okay. تلك عشرة كاملة. That is a complete 10. Very good. That is a complete 10. Where do we have that in the Quran? Okay. What is تلك عشرة كاملة talking about?
You mentioned it not too long ago, I feel like.
Really? فصيام 3 أيام في الحج و7 إذا رجعتم تلك عشرة كاملة. So there's an instance in Hajj where a person has to fast 3 days there and 7 days when they return as a penalty for missing something in Hajj. You guys have to figure out what that thing is. Not just gonna tell you. ذلك هو الفوز العظيم. How do we translate that?
We have decided
Yes?
that.
That's ذلك الفوز العظيم.
Oh, sorry.
ذلك الفوز الكبير. What does this mean? That?
That is the real great success.
That is the real. Where'd you get real?
Who?
Huh?
Who?
That is
The actual.
ذلك هو الفوز العظيم. So we have ذلك الفوز العظيم in the Quran, right? What's ذلك الفوز العظيم mean?
The great success.
So that is the great success. Now we can insert a huwa between the mubtada and the khabar in order to ensure that no one accidentally reads that as a murakkab, and instead ensure that they understand this as a fact, that this is the mubtada and this is the khabar. We insert huwa between them. In Arabic, when you have a mushari ilay that you don't want it to be the mushari ilay, you want it to be the khabar, but it happens to be definite, then you can insert huwa between the mubtada and khabar so no one gets confused. Yes, you do it if the khabar is feminine.
I remember hearing about this, about the pen.
هو القلم.
Yeah, هذا هو القلم.
Like هذا قلم, هذا القلم, but you're like, that's not a complete sentence.
Yeah, you would have to say هذا
If you
هو.
want to really have to do huwa.
Yeah, yeah, you can do here as well. So similarly here, we're not going to say that he is, it doesn't make sense just like that. We have to first understand why the Arabs used it. They used it to differentiate and assert in truth that this mubtada is, this khabar. So the mubtada here is that. What is true about that? That is the great success. That is the great success. Number 8. قُلْ يَا قَوْمِ قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ هَؤُلَاءِ بَنَاتِي. What does this mean?
So I said to these people, I said, oh my, these are my...
Where'd you guys get my people?
Qawm, yeah, qawm.
What does qawm mean?
Oh, it's a nation.
So what does this
Oh,
say?
yeah, they're.
My nation.
Where'd you get my?
That's what made
yeah,
me
qawm.
think
Is that
So yeah, so this actually, in reality, the word itself is a shortened version of qawmi.
Yeah, I was actually going to say
So
that.
in the Quran, when you have this kasra indiscriminately used, like at the end of a word, فَيَقُولُ رَبِّي أَكْرَمًا. For example, فَمَا إِذَا مَبْتَلَاهُ رَبُّهُ فَأَكْرَمَهُ وَنَعَمَهُ فَيَقُولُ رَبِّي أَكْرَمًا, right? But it's actually أَكْرَمَنِي. Akramani means what? My Lord Akramani.
Oh, has
Honored me. But we don't say Akramani because the Quran was revealed Akraman. With the single kasra, not a long vowel. So when you stop on the single kasra, you say Akraman. If you continue, you would say Akramani. So the idea is that in this ayah, you might see the same when we see Yaqom. قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهِ. We see that single kasra. So he said, my people, what did he say?
These are my daughters.
These are my daughters. Who said that?
Lut,
Prophet? Prophet Lut alayhi salam.
I don't know what's on. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
Prophet
on.
Lut alayhi salam. Alright. قالوا إن هذان لساحران.
They say
They say indeed.
these two are.
Where did you get indeed, my friend?
Indian.
Really?
Is that wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
What's in it?
What is Indian? Wait a second.
It can be indeed short form, but it's not always, right?
Yeah, I can. That's a good guess. I'm glad you remember that. But this isn't that in. We'll talk about this in later. Okay? Now, the way we'll translate this is indeed. It's fine to translate it as that right now.
Okay. Okay.
It's really sparkling. What
Basically, sometimes in the Arabic language can be if, sometimes it can be indeed, and sometimes it can be is not.
Okay.
For example, in the story of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam, remember the women who were given the knives? The Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam walked in. What did they say? He said, they say, "Ma hadha bashara." This is not a man. In hadha illa malakun kareem. What is illa? So in here means is not. In hadha means this is not anything except malakun kareem, an honor, a noble angel. No, we have to. It's a negative part, so we translate it is not because there's illa afterwards. Right? This is not except means this is only malakun kareem. So that in exists here as well. Now, in hadani lisahirani, I'll have to look into the tafasir to ascertain what type of in this is. But it is fine to understand it as these are only. We're going to translate it as only. These are only.
Two sorcerers.
Yes. In hadani, indeed these two are two sorcerers. Number 10. Inna hadha lahu al-haqqul yaqeen.
Indeed, this. Now, that lam is.
What's the
This is
What?
This is barely.
Verily, okay. Surely
the certain truth.
the certain truth.
Haqqul yaqini, would that be?
Yaqeen, sir.
Yaqeen is like certain.
What?
Yaqeen is something.
Yaqeen
like
is certainty. Okay.
Haqqul yaqeen is so haqqul here is mudaf.
Yes.
This is true, sir. Indeed, this is true, sir.
No, you guys are translating as Mawsuf Sifa.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do mudaf now. Indeed.
No, that's Mawsuf Sifa. Look, this is Mudaf and Mudaf ilayh.
Of certainty.
This truth of certainty. Very good.
Certainty's truth.
Yeah, the truth of
Why do we
certainty.
have Huwa?
Oh, very good. So remember, why do we even have Huwa? Guys, why do we even have Huwa there?
To not confuse it as a muqaddam.
Okay, very good. And another reason is it's asserting that the mubtada with emphasis is the khabar. So this inna hadha, indeed this.
Indeed this.
And then we have more layers of certainty that are given, la huwa. And then Allah calls it haqq, the truth of al-yaqeen, of certainty, because there are different types of truths. Some truths are not at the level of yaqeen. They're just assumptions. They're presumptions. You believe they're true, but if they ended up being otherwise, you wouldn't really be shocked. But yaqeen is something that cannot be broken. When a person has yaqeen, that yaqeen cannot be eradicated by anything else except themselves. Right? They can choose to, in spite of knowing something as the truth, they can still act otherwise. Out of their rebelliousness towards Allah, out of their arrogance towards Allah. But the yaqeen is there. They're the ones that are responsible for removing it. So in this ayah, we have the mubtada, which is hada, indeed this. Lahwa, we're just going to translate it as is for now. Haqqul yaqeen, the truth of absolute certainty. Any questions? فَذَانِكَ بُرْهَانَانِ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. How do we translate that? Those two are two proofs. Good. What is he saying? Yes.
Oh, is it the asa in the?
Yes. Very good. The first two miracles the Prophet Musa got after speaking with the fire. Okay. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه. We know how to translate that. What does this mean?
That book,
That
Mhm.
book in which
That book,
has no uncertainty.
in it no certain no
in it there is no
uncertainty.
doubt, right? In it there is no doubt. But there are other tarkeebs to this. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب. لا ريب. And then we have فيه هدى للمتقين. So that فيه becomes part of the next sentence,
Yeah.
which is هدى للمتقين. Hudan is mubtada, and then فيه للمتقين is the khabar, although the order is not in that way, right? Because remember, when a mubtada is indefinite, it comes after the khabar. You guys remember that? Like fil masjidi rajulun, we don't say rajulun fil masjid. So hudan lil muttaqin, hudan is also indefinite. So it's brought later. So there are different ways to do tarkeeb of this sentence. Inshallah, we'll move on from this one. قال هذا فراق بيني وبينك.
So he said, "This is the separation
The separation, okay?
between me and between you."
Yeah, why is firaku not alif lam?
What?
Why does firaq not have tanween?
Is it a mudaf?
It's a mudaf. Very good. To what?
Baby and baby.
Yes, so how do we translate?
This is separation of you and me.
Yeah, good. This is separation of you and me. This is between Musa and Khidr. alayhi salam.
Yeah.
Yes. وَإِنَّ هَذِهِ أُمَّتُكَ. What?
I don't know why it does this.
Oh my Allah.
When you plug it back in, it does this every time.
They did that last time too.
Yeah, this is the third time.
Just to plug it in.
Yeah, I did nothing with this.
Yeah, I don't get it.
This thing is not shady. This is a good connector. Okay, we'll figure that
It
out.
takes a minute, yeah.
وَإِنَّ هَذِهِ أُمَّتُكُمْ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً.
Indeed, this ummah is, I don't know,
This ummah of yours, this nation of yours,
Uh-huh.
one
is one nation.
Yeah, you guys translated it correct, but you're basically guessing. The i'rab here is hard to teach you. Ummatan wahida, these are all concepts you don't know. Why this word would be mansub.
Yeah.
Okay? Hadihi in this phrase would be in what state?
Because it's the mubtada.
is in
Inna is مشبهة بالفعل.
How about well?
What?
Well,
Yeah. مشبهة
Inna hadihi ummatukum. Look at the state. What state would hadihi be in?
is the what?
What state is hadihi in?
It's like it should be mansub. It's not mansub?
It's mansub.
Okay,
And why is it mansub?
because it is the mubtada of inna, this ism of
The
inna.
ism of inna. What's the khabar of inna?
No. Ummatukum?
Yes, how do you know?
Because it's the marfu.
It's marfu.
Yeah.
Yeah, so inna hadihi ummatukum means indeed this is,
Yeah.
not this nation
Yeah.
of yours. This is,
Your nation.
this is your nation. How did I know where to put the is?
Because ummatukum is al-kan. Or because it's
Because if it was actually the mushar ilayhi,
okay.
and if this was in fact a murakkab, it and inna would have the same state.
Ummatukum and
And hadihi would have the same state.
Yeah.
Right? So for example, رَأَيْتُ هَذَا الْكِتَابَ. What state is kitab in? What state is hadha in? They're both mansub, right? So the mushar and mushar ilayh should have the same state. So we see inna hadhihi, we know hadhihi is in the nasab state. But is it ummatakum?
No.
It's ummatukum, which tells you this cannot be the mushar ilayh. This must be the khabar of inna.
Then it's ummatan wahidatan.
Don't worry about that.
Okay, don't go there. Sorry.
That's not the khabar. That's actually a new concept in grammar we haven't covered. It's part of had, but basically, this is your nation, and you guys translated it as is one nation,
Yeah.
but this is your singular nation.
Say it
I was
again.
gonna say, could you say, this is your nation and then like the hyphen,
Yeah, you can do that.
I
Yeah, you can. You might see that in translations.
It wouldn't be like
Honestly, there's some grammatical concepts in Arabic that really have no equivalent to English. Like we don't talk like that in English. It's not ta'kid. Yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is just emphasizing the fact that it's a nation that is like only one nation, as opposed to nations that split up and become less brotherly over time. You know, tribes. But the Prophet is saying all of Muslims are one ummah, one brotherhood. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Prophet. أولئك على هدى من ربهم. How do we translate that, guys?
Those are upon
truth from their Lord.
Good. Upon guidance from their Lord. وَيَا قَوْمِ هَذِهِ نَاقَةُ اللَّهِ لَكُمْ آيَةً.
and all my
Oh
people.
my nation. This female
This
camel
she camel.
is
This no
this
Allah's she
female
camel.
camel of Allah.
Nope. Wait, oh my people, once again.
All my people.
Having
Allah's she
this,
camel.
Wait,
This-
how do we translate هذه ناقة الله?
That's what I'm trying.
This
Either this.
This is.
this is
Allah's
Allah's
she camel
Allah's camel.
for you.
Allah's she camel. The she camel of Allah.
She camel of Allah for you.
For you, it has come as a sign. So we were going to insert those. It has come. Again, you don't know why this is in the nasab state. Right?
Okay.
It has come as a sign. 17. إن هذا لفي الصحف الأولى.
This
Is surely
in the first text scriptures.
scriptures. Very good. هذان خصمان اختصموا في ربهم. Khasman. Khasm is someone that's one of our vocab words.
Yeah.
No, it means someone that is fighting in court. I told you.
Fighting in what?
In court. What's the word that they gave in the book? Yeah, there are two people that are arguing in court against one another. Okay? خصمان اختصموا. اختصموا is a verb that means they argued.
Three or more.
Yeah. So these, how do we translate هذان خصمان? These are two.
Arguers
Yes.
who argue
Uh-huh.
you know,
They argue
about them.
about Allah, about the Lord.
Yes. Look. هذان خصمان اختصموا. Ya Allah.
Yeah, go ahead.
The link had it right. Look, it's 78.
78 or 19.
Here it is.
Okay.
These are two adversaries who have disputed over their Lord. Yeah, that's a good translation. Continue. هذه جهنم التي يكذب بها المجرمون. Can you guys try that?
This is hell.
This
Jahannam
is a hellfire.
the one
The one
The one-
who will be
This Jahannam? No, this is.
Jahannam.
Jahannam.
The one in which the Mujrim lied about.
The ones who lied about.
One more time. You're very close. Now, yukadhibu, what type of verb is that?
Form 4.
It's what? You're not in the other class, are you?
No, it was not the
Oh,
other
yes, for
So where?
Form
You didn't come to
2?
the sarf classes, right? The sarf classes, right? We're doing sarf in those classes right now. So, yukadhibu is form 2.
2, okay.
It's form 2. Okay? So when form 2 is when you have a verb whose middle ayn letter has been given a shadda in the past tense, like kadhiba becoming kadhaba. Okay?
Yeah.
Kadhab. What does kadhiba mean? So what does kadhaba mean? No. I told you guys why we use form 2.
I can't
We use
remember
form-
if it was to make
no,
someone else,
and-
to say someone else did it. Or
Yes.
that's
It's
form
just
2.
like form 4.
Oh, okay.
That in form 4 we add a extra maf'ul bihi.
Right. We
Right.
made it transitive.
Good, we made it transitive, right? So Kadhiba means to tell a lie.
Yeah.
Kadhaba means to,
Make someone else lie.
yeah, or make someone else a liar.
Make someone else a liar.
Yes, to call someone a liar.
Okay.
So kadhaba means not to lie, but to call someone a liar, or to call something a lie.
Ah.
Okay? To call something kidhb,
Yeah.
to call something a lie. So هذه جهنم التي يكذب بها المجرمون means this is,
Jahannam.
yes, Jahannam, that the, huh?
No.
No. Who's the doer here? Who's the doer?
Al-Mujrimun.
Mujrimun. How do you know?
Is this a marfu?
Because it's marfu. Good. So this is the Jahannam that the criminals be like. I don't like this old age English. It's correct, but tell me, what does that mean?
They did not lie about it.
They disbelieved in it. What does that have to do with giving?
They said it's a lie.
They said it's a lie. كذب بها means they called it a lie and disbelieved in it. Why? You disbelieve in the very thing that you lie. Call it a lie. So they called this Jahannam a fairy tale place. Now they're here. That's what Allah is saying.
Denied and accepted.
Deny is a good translation.
It's precedence, right?
It is.
Yeah. The ones that the criminals continuously lie about. They lie about. Or they call it a lie, rather. They don't lie about. They deny it and they call it a lie.
So you can double would be past tense.
That would not be past tense. Past tense would be kadhaba. Remember? Form 2 in the past tense is fa'ala.
Oh my bad.
Okay? كذب. That would be كذب بها. والسابقون السابقون أولئك المقربون. السابقون. Who are the سابقون?
The foremost.
The foremost, right? The first.
Yeah.
أولئك المقربون. They,
Are the close ones.
the ones that are made close to Allah.
Maybe.
Yeah. مقربون.
The shadda.
The shadda tells you it's actually a noun from form 2.
Yeah.
Alright, so mashallah, if you master those forms, the majority of Quranic words are going to be accessible to you.
How is it harder from form 2? Does it mean?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that inshallah next tough class. We're going to get into the meat parts.
So if it was.
So if you basically, what if you look at any form 2 verb, like yukadhibu, all you got to do is get rid of the you,
Make it.
and you turn it into a meat. So what is mukadhibu? Mukadhibun is the one who does yukadhibu.
Yeah.
Okay? And muqarribu, what does muqarribu mean?
The one who you thought is
The one who yuqarribu, what is yuqarribu?
makes
To make someone qareeb, right? To make someone close. So, but this doesn't say muqarribu, it says muqarrabun. That is not the ismul fa'il, it's the ismul maf'ul. So those are the ones who have not been made close. Not the ones who make others close.
They're the ones who were made.
They're the ones who were brought close.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand muqarrabun versus muqarribun?
So Allah will be the Muqarrab.
Allah would be muqarrib.
Muqarrab.
Yeah. The people are the muqarrabs. Okay? Makes sense. قال إني أريد أن أنكحك إحدى ابنتي هاتين. Don't translate based off what you know, sir.
Okay.
Inshallah. I know you single folks. قال, he said, indeed
Indeed, I
Uridu.
I want you.
I want you.
Urid, I want.
Okay.
Sorry, I just went back.
I want.
I want.
I
And that.
An unkiha. What is unkiha wa'il? I need your help. No, I know you know what it means, man. I want you to think of the form.
Yes. Unkih. Right? Fi'al amr. Unkihaka. You marry. No, but it's not. No.
That's totally wrong. Good guess. Listen. We have to reverse engineer this verb. It's very important that we understand why this means what it means. Because I need to introduce you all to the realm of sarf, irrespective of your class. Okay? First off, does anyone recall what type of word is an?
Mansub?
Yes. What's a harf nasiba?
It makes the word after it mansub.
What type of word after it?
A present tense verb.
There you go. So you know what type of word unkiha is. It's not. You said it was what? An amar. All right. So remember your principles.
Okay.
We have an here,
Okay.
which is a harf nasiba. Do you have any recollection of this? If you don't, it's okay. And for those who are watching online, like this is, I understand this is Lisan al-Quran, and Lisan al-Quran hasn't even gone into these concepts. The point is if you know them from before, it's good to recollect. You got it. How'd you know that? Okay, so unkiha originally was unkihu. Okay, unkihu. Think of the actual pattern.
Yeah.
We have a hamza with a dhamma.
Yeah.
Okay.
I marry.
Remember, the hamza represents first person. It's a first person verb. Okay. And why does it have a dhamma? And why does the ayn letter have a kasra? That only exists in form 4. Because form 4, the past tense was af'ala and the present tense was yuf'ilu. Yuf'ilu. Remember? So, in short, unkiha is form 4. What is the original form of the verb? What are the nakaha? Because form 4 hasn't added hamza, right? Nakaha yankahu, which means to marry someone, to marry someone. In form 4, how do we turn this into a form 4 verb?
Put a dhamma on the
Past tense, we put a
Past tense.
hamza with a fatha
Before
before the
the root letters.
root letters, and we give the first letter a sukun. So what do we get? Yes. So what do we get? Ankaha. And the present tense of ankaha would be what? Yunkihu. And the first person would be unkihu. Very good. Y'all caught on to that fast. So what does nakaha mean?
Nakaha means he married.
What does ankaha mean?
He married.
Ankaha.
He married, or he gave.
He's married too.
Guys, remind me, why does form 4 even exist? What's the benefit of form 4?
It's like-
But this verb was never intransitive to start with.
So give it two.
So give it 2 maf'uls. If it's already transitive, give it 2 maf'uls.
Okay.
So the original is he married someone. Now, instead, you could, if you wanted 2 maf'uls, you can say he
Married this person, that person.
made
This person.
someone marry someone.
Okay.
I want to marry.
Now, that means in form 4, this requires how many maf'uls?
2.
You understand why and why?
Okay.
Because the original nakaha needs 1 maf'ul, right? Nakaha Muhammadun Fatimata, right? We need 1 maf'ul. But unkiha comes from ankaha yunkihu, which requires 2 maf'uls. Basically, you're getting the couple married, right? So unkihaka, that's the first maf'ul.
Yeah.
Good. So I want to marry you to ihda. Ihda is one of ibnatayya. Yes, very good. One of my 2 daughters. Now, why is it ibnatayya? Why isn't it ibnatayni?
Yeah.
That's a rule you haven't learned yet.
Okay.
So you probably already know the meaning of the ayah from previously. We'll talk about why ihda ibnatayya looks so weird. Why isn't it ibnatayni? That would mean 2 daughters, right? In short, we got to get rid of the noon at the end of dual nouns if we want to replace it with a mudaf ilayh pronoun.
We want to get rid of the noun in a dual noun if we want to make it a mudaf ilayh.
If we want to add a mudaf ilayh
So
pronoun.
you can't say ibnatayni.
Yeah, I can't say ibnatayni.
Okay.
So I have to get rid of the noon. So what am I left with? Ibnatayya. Just 2 yas right there.
Okay.
It means my 2 daughters. One of my 2 daughters.
Oh, with Hatayni would be 2.
Hataini? Hataini. What does hataini mean? What does hataini mean?
Hatayni.
It's hadani.
For female?
It's
Hatani.
It's majrur or mansub of hatani. Okay, so ihda ibnatayya hatayni would mean one of my two daughters hatayni.
Oh,
What
no,
is
these
these two?
wait, so could, is
Okay.
it possible for it to ever be Ibn Taymi?
No. Yeah, it would be ibnatayya in the rafa'at state. You're thinking hard. MashaAllah, it's good. It's good you're
One
thinking.
of
So we'll talk about that transformation inshallah a little later. It's not that common. Continue onwards. We have detached personal pronouns in the nominative form. That just means al-dama'ir al-marfu'a. When we say al-dama'ir al-marfu'a, guys, dama'ir is the plural of damir. Damir is a pronoun. So dama'ir, we know, means pronouns. Al-marfu'a means what? They're in the rafa'at state, okay? And al-munfasila means that they are detached. They're not attached. So, detached pronouns are, like for example, huwa. Why do we say they're detached? They're not connected to the end of another word, okay? We know huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna. What else? Oh, ya Allah.
Sorry.
Anta.
أنتِ
Okay, once again. Huwa.
هو هما هم هي هما هن أنت أنتما
أنت
أنت أنتم أنتما أنت أنتما أنتن أنا نحن.
Very good. Okay. We're going to skip through all of the entirety of the English. What I just want to focus on is just looking at some of the examples. Number 5, can we read that together?
number 5
Number 5 right here, yes, sorry.
هؤلاء العلماء هم عاملون بعلمهم.
What does that mean?
These ulama, these scholars.
So these are scholars.
Yes.
Sorry.
These are scholars, okay?
They masculine.
They, yeah.
Masculine.
Yeah, we don't have to say masculine in English because we don't care about gender.
They
Work with their knowledge.
بعلمهم.
They, amiluna is not a verb. It's not a verb.
It is a
What does it mean? They,
doers.
okay, they do bi'ilmihim. They are
Their
doers.
knowledge.
They use their knowledge.
Okay, no, yes, that's a good way to think of it. They act in accordance to their knowledge, right? They are, literally says they are actors
Yeah.
by their knowledge, but basically they work in accordance to their knowledge. And they do based off of their knowledge. As opposed to people who don't do amal in accordance to their ilm, they act like they're jahil, but they have ilm. Right? They know everything, but they act as though they don't know anything.
Experts there.
Let's go to number 3.
زيد وسليم صديقان هما مدرسان في الجامعة الإسلامية.
Okay, what does that mean?
Zayd and Salim are friends. Or two friends. They learn. So they are two students. Two students. Oh, they're two teachers. They're two teachers in the Islamic college.
Good, in the Islamic University or college.
They are two teachers.
Yeah, they both are.
Professors.
You could say they both are teachers. Because in English we don't say they both are two teachers. We just say they both
They
are.
are teachers.
It's assumed that the noun after is dual, right? Alright, going onwards. If you look at the word mu'allim, which you said right here, right? Mu'allim also has a shadda, or mudarris, sorry, also has a shadda on the ayn letter. What does that mean? It's form 2. It's form 2. So mudarris is someone who does what? What? Yeah, but how do we say the verb form of mudarris? You just replace the yudarris. Huwa yudarris. Right? And the past tense of yudarris would be what?
Darasa.
Darasa. What does that mean?
Taught before.
Literally means what?
Used to teach.
Made someone teach.
He made some. What does the original mean?
He taught.
What does the original mean? Darasa.
He taught.
Darasa.
He learned.
Good. Darasa means he learned. So, or he studied. So darasa means
He made someone
he made someone study,
Oh.
which means he taught them, right? He made them study. He taught them. Okay, let's read number 4. Aisha.
عائشة وزينب أختان هما فتاتان متدينتان.
Mutadayyinatan. What is
Aisha
that?
and Zainab are sisters.
Aisha and Zainab are sisters.
They are 2 young women.
فتاتان. Two young ones.
2 young women. Mutadayyinatani. What's the singular of mutadayyin? Mutadayyinatun, right? And mutadayyin, what does mutadayyin mean? It means someone that is on their deen. Mutadayyin, from deen. Mutadayyin. All right, skipping onwards, we're going to go ahead and jump to exercise number 4. Okay. Let's see if we can do this. Is she absent?
هل هي غائبة؟
Very good. هل هي غائبة? Are we rich, Shamris?
غنيون.
We know the plural of ghani is
Oh.
yes. You can say هل نحن أغنياء. We can say أنحن أغنياء. Yes. Is he sleeping?
So can I say هي غائبة?
Yes.
Oh.
What?
هو.
أهو نائم. Good. Number 4.
هي سعيدة.
أهي سعيدة. أهي مسرورة. أهي فرحة.
فرحة وفرحة.
Yeah, farha is also correct. What I said.
Why?
Because it's the feminine of farhan. Farhanu, like jo'anu. Farhanu means happy. And the female of that is farha. Farha, not farhatu. Farha with an alif.
أو فرحة.
Maqsura. With an alif maqsura. Alright, they are poor.
هم فقراء.
هم فقراء. Are they Iraqis?
هم عراقيون.
هم Iraqiyun. Good. Are they tired?
هم تعبون.
Ta'ibuna, would you say? Muta'abuna is correct as well. Alright, 8.
هم عيانين.
You both.
عيانين.
Are you both?
أنتن.
Antunna?
أنتن.
Antuma. Yeah, maridani or maridatani if you're talking to 2 women. Alright, 15.
هم 15. هما
Ahuma.
حزينان.
Hazinani is fine. Good. I am sitting here.
Can you say جالس هنا?
Ana jalisun huna.
What if I say جالس?
Jalisun huna? Like without ana? Well, without ana?
Yeah.
You can do it. Like if someone says Fain anta
جالس.
and you just skip ana. Obviously they know you're not talking about someone else as the mubtada. You're not saying, Sheikh Saud.
Until I said it out loud.
That's not a proper.
You can skip mubtadas in Fusha Arabic. You can skip khabars. The Quran requires you to even acknowledge so many hidden mubtadas and khabars that are obvious. So it's alright to skip mubtadas and khabars as long as there's an assumed mubtada or khabar. Yeah, ajlisu huna is correct as well. Okay? There's a lot of good vocabulary words in this, so I would prefer that you guys go over 1 to 42 in writing. Honestly. Very It's really long in the sense that it's not going to be done by tomorrow.
Yeah.
But please try and complete this exercise before next week. This is chapter 9. 1 to 42. Yeah, we have to go through all the exercises on paper. Number 5, exercise number 5 has some good vocabulary words as well. Let's try and go ahead and do some from this chapter. هن لباس لكم. They, females,
Clothing for you.
a clothing for you. Very good.
Oh, yeah. They are clothing for you. I was like, wait a
وهن
second.
لباس لهم.
No, هن لباس لكم وأنتم لباس لهم. قال أنا خير منه.
He
He said, I'm better than him.
Very good. فهل أنتم مسلمون؟
So are you not Muslims? No. So
will you?
so
Will you submit?
Okay, so you're taking it in the future. Muslimun is a noun, so let's stick to a noun meaning. Literally, it says, "Are you Muslims? Are you submitters? Are you Muslims?" One implication of asking someone that is that, are you therefore not going to believe? That's why you guys started translating as, so will you not believe? You know? So will you not become Muslim in the future? In certain translations, it'll be translated that way. Right now, we're just looking at Quranic structure. We're not focused on what's the right translation for that ayah. وَهُمَا يَسْتَغِيثَانِ اللَّهَ. يستغيث is a verb. يستغيث means to seek aid. So يستغيثان الله means what? And they both seek aid from Allah. Seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's aid. Yes. إنما نحن مسلمون.
Indeed, we are.
إنما means only.
only we are.
No.
We are only.
We are only believers. Muslims.
Believers.
وكلمة الله هي العليا.
And Allah's word.
Why do you think there's a hiya here? Or what benefit is there to a hiya being
The
here?
same Greek word. Because وكلمة الله العليا would not be compulsory.
Yes, like it's possible that al-ulya, because it's definite, we have to put hiya to show you that, hey, this is the beginning of the khabar. So the kalimatullah, the what? The
word of
Allah is al-ulya, means the highest. The highest. It's the female of al-a'la.
Oh, okay.
Al-a'la, the highest. Al-ulya, female. Okay? قالت هو من عند الله.
She said this is from Allah.
No, she didn't say this. She would have said هذا من عند
She
الله.
said it's
Yes.
it's from Allah.
It
And again, huwa again.
is from Allah. Okay? What is she talking about?
The food.
The food. Very good. بل أنتم قوم مسرفون.
Rather, you are the nation.
No, you don't have to say only.
Rather,
You are a nation
are
of wasteful nation.
A wasteful nation. Very good. وما أنا من المشركين. ما means not. I am not from among the polytheists. وأولئك هم المفلحون.
And those
People are, you can say those people are.
people are the successful.
Yes, how do we know
Again,
where to say are?
because
Hum?
Very good, very good. The hum here is the plural version of huwa, which we saw previously between mubtada and khabar. Are you following? All right. إنك أنت علام الغيوب.
You are the
إنك أنت. You. إنك.
To keep the emphasis.
It's because the thing that we need to have something between the mubtada and the khabar. See?
The same as huwa.
Yes.
And hum.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
okay.
You are the
knower of the unseen.
Yes.
knower of the unseen.
You certainly are the one that is the knower of all unseens. فإنما هي زجرة واحدة. It's like a violent.
What?
Just like
Zajra. Zajra is a violent shaking, I believe.
Ah,
That's what you said?
no.
so
I said shout.
shout.
What'd you say?
Shout.
A
That's
shout.
what Google Translate.
Shout was like
It's a violent shake, right?
It says a shout.
Oh, it's a shout. My
Google
bad. My
Translate,
mistake.
I don't know.
I may be wrong. معنى الزجر الواحدة. النفخة. Yeah, it's a shout. It's a shout. So indeed, it is only a single blow.
The tafsir, there's two different. One says blast and one says shout.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh? Huh? You said just
Yeah, that's what I did.
What website are you looking on? Yeah, it's nafkha. It's like a blow.
Zajara, to rebuke, scold, suppression. So Zajara and Zajara.
Yeah, it's a shout. It's a shout. Okay. Continuing onwards. إنك أنت السميع العليم.
Indeed,
You are
the hearer,
all-knowing hearer.
all knowing,
the hearer and the
the all
hearing and all knowing.
knowing, all knowing hearer.
All knowing hearer.
Yes. أنتما ومن اتبعكما ومن اتبعكم الغالبون.
and those who follow both of you
Yes.
are
الغالبون are غالب. لا غالب إلا الله. غالب. غلب. To be dominant. Right. Who is this about?
That was my guess.
Nope. There's the two tribes of Bani Israel, I believe, who went into the city. Yes. قال يا قوم هؤلاء بناتي هن أطهر لكم. What does he say?
He said, my people
هؤلاء بناتي
are my daughters,
are my daughters. هن أطهر لكم.
are
More pure for you. Very good. قالوا أأنت فعلت هذا بآلهتنا يا إبراهيم.
Get that. I got the first one. That's
Yes.
100.
What did they say?
They said,
Are
are
you-
you the one?
أأنت فعلت.
Are you the one?
Did you do
Did you
this
this?
with our
Yeah.
gods.
Yeah.
Yes, very good. So that was the ayah that we covered last time in our previous class as well. Some new vocabulary. Please do whatever you can to ensure that you memorize vocabulary. Like, one of the best features of this book is that you have to do the exercises in order to be successful. 90% of the reason I prefer this book over others has to do with how much exposure there are to words. If you properly go over at least the exercises I say. I know I'm not being particular with you guys finishing every exercise. That's because there are concepts that are genuinely so well established in your brains. So it feels like almost pointless to go over them and do exercises just to figure out a singular vocab word. But at the very least, memorize the vocabulary in each chapter well. If you guys need motivation, you need a test over 150 vocab terms, we can do that. We can do that, okay? Alright? So, what we will do is, I'm going to set a reminder on my laptop so that there's no ifs and buts about it, okay? It is about what? وَنَجْعَلُ لَكُمَا سُلْطَانًا فَلَا يَصِلُونَ إِلَيْكُمَا بِآيَاتِنَا أَنْتُمَا وَمَنْ تَتَّبَعْتُمْ فَلَمَّا جَاءَهُم مُوسَىٰ بِآيَاتِنَا. That's correct. Our new event. Jazakallah khairan. Is vocab test. Arabic 101.
Yeah.
Lessons.
Make sure it's when Sophie's here.
Vocabulary.
Make sure it's when Sophie's here.
I think last time.
You hear that, Sophie?
You hear that, Sophie? I remember. Who was it? We had a in 100. I think we had. No, was it?
Yeah, we have to test.
We had a vocab contest. Yeah, y'all weren't here.
Yes, we did.
It was a random Friday.
It was in 2 weeks that I missed.
Yeah.
All right. Bismillah.
Like a little bit before the.
So go ahead and look at how it is that we have a bunch of new words. First off, racehorse is called what in Arabic? Jawadun. And the plural of jawadun is? Jiyadun. What? Jawad? Jawad. Jawad. As Daisy say? Jawad is someone that rides the horse. I believe. Yeah. Juwaib?
That's not
I feel like it's like
Jawad? Yes, one of Jude, the one of generosity. Yes, Abdul Jawad, I believe is the name, correct?
So Joanne?
No, I don't think a Jawad is one of them.
Jawad is something similar to that.
Jawad Malikum Barru Raufur Rahim, that's what he says. Yes, Jawad means the one of generosity. Okay,
Joanne.
our next one is Jo'an. Jo'an should not have a tanween at the end. It's Jo'anu. Okay? That's incorrect. Its feminine is
Joanne.
Jo'an. Not Jo'anatun.
Yeah.
Well, in Mother
Yes.
Is that for female?
Marda is not for female. Marda is plural of Maryam.
Okay.
Okay. Hayda'un means what?
Shoe.
What's the plural?
Yeah.
Dun. Ahdiyatun.
She doesn't have no
Himarun. Its plural is? Homor. Donkeys. Angry in Arabic is what? According to the book, Sakhid. Angry. Okay? Now, Sakhid is a word that we see not in this form, but I told you a hadith last time, which was رضا الرب في رضا الوالد وسخط الرب في سخط الوالد. What does that mean?
That being the satisfaction of Allah is in the satisfaction of the Father.
Yes.
And the anger of Allah is the anger of Allah.
Yes. Dharifatun means what?
Charming.
Dharifatun. As you can see, they've given a female. This is for females.
Oh, okay.
Dharifatun. Yes. Dharifatun. Dharifun can be used for men as well. It can be used to describe them. Dhalam is. Okay, continue. What's our next vocab word? Battle. Fight. Next one. Qaliqun. Someone that's anxious and worried. Should have no tanween. Kaslanu. Okay? And the plural is? Kusala. It's in the Quran, right? Kusala. Yura'una an-nas. Wa la yadhkuruna Allah illa qalila. Alright, so that's lazy. What's headed in direction? Directed.
Mutteji. Huh? I feel like this is a word that would be too weird for Eric to keep like that.
Muttajihun.
Oh, yeah, wajah.
Yeah, so it's the same. It comes from wajh. It comes from the verb of wajaha. Yeah, so ittajaha also means to face. Muttajihun is someone that is directed or headed in a specific direction. Mim dhamma, that's right. Mutqin. We learned that before, didn't we? We learned mahir as skillful. Mutqin is also someone that is very fluent or skilled at any task. Mas'ulun anhu.
Responsible for.
What does that mas'ul mean?
When you ask, right?
Ask me.
No, that's sa'il.
The one who asks is that. The one you ask.
The one that is asked
The one who is asked, sorry.
For somebody.
is the mas'ul. Not for someone or for something.
I'm saying I'm
Yes.
For someone.
No, that doesn't mean for someone. That means about something.
Yeah. So you're gonna be asked about
Not
it.
عن who.
Yeah. Yeah, the one asked about it.
So about him would be عن who.
No. It's
Yeah, you can't say أنا مسؤول عنه. I'm responsible, meaning I'm asked about regarding my son, right? I'm responsible for my son. Yeah, son, he,
It's
it.
the same pronunciation.
Yeah, it's just like huwa. It's just like huwa means he or it, right?
It or he, yeah.
Okay. Mas'ulun anhu, responsibility in Arabic has to do with you being questioned. That's why mas'ul has to do with questions. So mas'ulun anhu means you'll be questioned about it.
They're responsible.
Yes. Maybe you won't be questioned here because no one has the guts to question you, but you will definitely ultimately be questioned about it. That's the important thing.
So mas'ulun is the one who is asked.
Yes.
Okay.
And anhu means about it.
About it.
Yes. Mustashfa means
Hospital.
hospital. It's the place of istishfa, which means the place where cures are sought.
هذا من ضمن.
Musta'idun,
مستعد. Ready.
ready.
أنا مستعد.
Can't wait.
Ana musta'idun,
Yeah.
right? Ana jahizun. I'm ready. I'm prepared.
What is that saying?
Huh?
What is that saying?
I can't hear.
Seeing that? Seeking.
Seen and tap.
No, no. The sin and ta are all added letters, and the mim is an added letter. The only real letters are ain, dal, dal.
Oh wow. SubhanAllah.
Adda means to count. A'adda means to prepare. Ista'adda means to try to prepare.
Where's the scene? Where does the scene come?
That's form 10. You haven't learned it.
Form 10.
Yes.
SubhanAllah.
Yes. Alright. So in the verbs,
These 3, 4.
we have more forms than 10.
Yeah, more forms than it.
Okay. So that is, in general, the idea of what it is that you and I should be focused on, which is the vocab. Previously, before we started this chapter, there's another word list on page number right here. Okay, we haven't gone over all of these, but you will be tested up until the end of today's word list, the one we just did. Inshallah, next Friday. So we learned about khayyat. You guys did tell me what khayyat is. Is a tailor. Durj is a drawer. We learned daraja is the stage. Dulab, ra'is. We did these last time. Okay. What we didn't do was surun, fence or a wall. Safe. Its plural is asyaf and suyuf. I feel like we did that. We have shayun, tea. Sarukh is a missile. Sahra, desert. We did all of these?
I remember.
Yes. Laji'un. Mustawsaf. Masakin.
محفظة يعمر محفظة.
Naqdun. Yes.
Cash. Yeah, I remember cash money.
Yeah. Okay. So, effectively, up until the end of the word list, at the end of chapter 8, I'm going to create at the end of chapter 8. 9, sorry. That's on page 100. You'll be tested up until their next Saturday. There might be 100 vocab questions. So come prepared. Do as many as you possibly can. Inshallah.
When's the test?
Friday.
Stuff you gonna read?
No, he won't, but he's gonna get tested, don't worry.
What did you say about Saturday?